My loves, welcome back to our channel. I am Zar. This is my beautiful husband, Joe. Okay, my better half. And we are here to talk all things Married at First Sight. But I think first we should give you guys maybe a little bit of update because we've been kind of like MIA for a couple weeks. So you want to give a little update, honey?
Well, we've just been moving.
Joe is he either a man of very few words or he gonna give you the entire Webster dictionary, Joe. Okay.
Yeah, we just been moving, and so
so we moved.
that's why we in a different space right now. We got internet.
Yes.
And we have the camera.
Yeah. So we're gonna film.
Yeah.
And we watched it last night. We are caught up, and we're ready to go. Okay. Yeah. Now, we did watch, and they got on my nerves, the entire motherfucking episode. So, we actually had to catch up on 2 episodes and watch a lot of Michaela's lying and BS back, and it stressed me out. But we'll get to Michaela soon. A lot of these couples are dumpster fires, but we're going to start with the least of all. Yeah. And I guess that would be Rachel and Jose. Mm-hmm. I feel like I am excited to see them grow. I'm going to be very honest because I feel like Jose is different or has grown. I feel like he's grown.
I think he's both. I think he's different and he's grown a lot. And I think Rachel bothered me a little bit in the past couple episodes because it just felt like she just wouldn't leave this whole argument that they had alone in the past. It was just a constant thing of like, well, we did have that one argument 10 years ago, and I'm nervous about that. Part of it felt like it was contrived, a part of this theme of the last episode before Decision Day, where everybody has to say, "Oh, I have pros, I have cons." They do that every season.
It was so overproduced.
Yeah, it's like a lot of that.
And I feel like my issue with Lifetime right now is that in an effort to get more content out, they give us, they could have gave us one less episode. This week could have been Decision Day, right? And really compiled all this. And I feel like it's very clear that they are pushed by the revenue that they generate from the show. Yeah. Which is cool, right? But I also feel like where they sacrifice it is that they overproduce moments. Yeah, a lot. And a lot. More than I've seen on a lot of shows. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I watch a lot of reality television. And I feel like they're hella overproduced. And I feel like even the pros and cons question, y'all just want to feed them lines at this point. Yeah,
it's like everybody has to sit down and say, well, you know what? To me, I don't like it because it's disingenuous in the sense of reality. You call it a reality show, right? It's not real to think that we're going to have, 6 couples or whatever, every season for 11 seasons, right? Yeah. And at the end of every season, every couple will have the same question mark. Yeah. That's not real. You're going to have it at all. You're going to have some couples that actually do have a question mark of, I don't know what I'm going to do on Decision Day. Right. You're going to have some couples that been done with each other for 4 weeks by the time Decision Day comes. That's real. You're going to have some couples that absolutely know we staying together and they knew it 2 weeks ago, right? For sure. So it's just annoying that we got to do this episode every year of there's pros and there's cons. Yeah. What are we going to do? We don't need that. We're going to watch anyway. We're going to watch Decision Day regardless.
So, I do want to step back on a backpedal pussy pop a bit. How do we feel as a conglomerate, you guys too, about Rachel going to the ex's house after the argument?
That's another thing that made it annoying. You're going to drag this thing out and constantly bring this thing up about how, we had that one argument, right? Because in reality, Rachel and Jose really had one argument. That's true. I can't really think, they had the couple back and forths about Jose not listening, blah, blah, blah. But they only
I don't listen either, so that's
their only real thing was this argument. You keep bringing it up, and then you went and not only stayed at an ex house, but you called it an ex when you left the building or whatever. So that's also something that
is a red flag.
It's a red flag, and you're gonna constantly bring this whole situation back into your present day because you keep bringing up, well, you know, I'm worried that, you know, I want to be naive and think that it won't happen and all this other stuff.
It's weird because part of me does feel like so I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I have a Scorpio rising. I'm very vindictive. It really is one of my toxic traits. If you hurt me, when they say, what they say, when we go low, when they go low, we go high. I'm going right to hell. Okay, my thing is this: if you go low on me, I am going to hell on you, and it's my toxic trait, right? So. Part of me watched it back and felt like, motherfucker. You know what I mean? But then the part of me that is, you know, a married woman and having been in committed relationships for so long, I felt like that was a lot.
Also, Rachel, you can't be so concerned about him locking you out the house again.
And you was with your ass nigga.
You can't.
Sorry, y'all.
You can't possibly think every time y'all get in an argument, you can go call your ex. So shouldn't Jose be worried about that? Shouldn't this be a constant reminder of what you did too? Like, that's the thing about constantly dragging up old arguments. Like, let this shit go and move on.
But that's also the thing about going lower. Right? Like, when you do things like that, then we got to have another conversation, and we miss the point. And the conversation
it muddies the waters. Right. Yeah, we're not talking about what we should have been talking about.
Right. And it kind of almost absolves the other person who hurt you of that initial hurt. When you do something like that, you know what I mean?
It hurts your cause. Because if you was the initial offended party,
yeah,
we're never gonna get to you. I do something to you and then you go call your ex. I don't give a you. I'm gonna be doing this like a kid. Like I can't. We're never gonna get to what your plight was because I no longer give a flying fuck what your plight was because you went to call your ex.
I feel like you're triggered right now, and I want to.
No, I just need to. But this is what my issue with Rachel is. Like, you won't let Jose live past this moment. But you did some old fuck shit.
But that's what
and it's like you also do yourself a disservice because now we're not talking about the issue that you really had where Jose fucked up.
Yeah.
We talking about you doing some fucked up shit.
And I'm also tired of this narrative that Jose don't want to do nothing. Like, oh, you know, that FOMO, that lifestyle, that having to go. You know what, though? I think that we kind of dealt with that a little bit. Like, wanting to, like, I am like a wanderlust kind of person. And I want to, I love to travel. And I love to be, like, on vacation. And I'm, like, not like a 3-5 day vacation. I'm, like, a 10 to 14 day vacation. And Joe is not. Okay, like, you know what I mean? So we had to do baby steps. We had to do like a 3-day and then like, okay, we'll do 4. And then we did like a 5. And then we got to a 7, you know what I mean? Which he was roughing it, child, on 7. But what I'm getting at is that, you know, I do think there is a place where some people do feel like y'all see this stuff on Instagram, y'all see this stuff in social media, and y'all think that this is real life. Right. And he has a point. However, if her desire is so deeply to travel and everything like that, what is it really going to cost you to just do it?
Yeah, but this is also very basic, right? Like, this is basic.
They not really having no real issues.
I'm about to say, like, this is every couple, especially newlywed couples, newly relationship couples, are going to have a meeting of the minds. Yeah. You come in with a different set of habits than I do. I come in with a different set of things that I'm used to than you do. So us just having to have a conversation of, you like the vacation more, I like the vacation, yes. That's just basic. It's no different from, like, you squeeze your toothpaste from the bottom up. I squeeze my, like, this is all the same shit that we can, what'd you say?
I said there is a way to squeeze your toothpaste.
But it's beside the point. The point is that this is all things that you just adjust. You have to, you get adjusted to. Yeah. And I think they're making a whole mountain out of a molehill with this whole thing because it's not going to really be that big of a deal in the great scheme of, she was like, it might be a big thing, if I can't go on vacation. Like, y'all will figure it out.
Which, to her point, that part will be a big deal. But when you say figure it out, I think that Jose is just going to acquiesce.
Yeah, you're gonna figure it out. That's what I'm saying.
And I really do think that, like, the back and forth is contrived too.
It is. Because they don't really have like a salacious issue.
Right.
You know what I mean? For real.
And sometimes you do gotta ease your spouse into stuff like that. Like sometimes you do gotta say, okay, well, let's start with a little getaway here. And then
it's not a big deal because if you want to figure it out,
you'll figure it out. And that's really how I feel. But the point is, they saying yes on decision day and we can move the fuck on.
Period.
Okay. So let's talk about Myrla and Gil.
They pretty safe too.
Is Gil getting on your nerves the way he getting on my nerves, or is that a personal problem I'm having with him? Let me tell y'all something. Gil stresses me. Gil talks too fucking much for me.
Gil has
he got too many
opinions. He is like motor mouth at sometimes. It's funny.
And it's like
sometimes it's necessary. Like when he's talking to Johnny and he's like, really, Johnny? Like he's gonna push back. Yeah. He's gonna give his opinions. And sometimes it's like, okay, Gil.
But when I feel like he being that way with his wife, I'm like, I don't like the way it bothers him so deeply that she shops and it bothers him.
But I don't believe that it does bother him so deeply. I believe that this is another case of we don't really have any red meat to feed them. So what we're going to do is we're going to play this whole she's a shopper and you don't like shopping.
Yeah, because
this is basic too.
It is basic. And I think that's how Myrla feels. Like, I think she listens to it and is just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, because Myrla hasn't even really given any real pushback on the situation.
Myrla has said 37 words this entire series. The entire series, 37 words. And I'm just like, I
appreciate that.
Why?
Because I can tell that when they're together, she's giving Gil 100% of Myrla. Right? She don't need to give us 100% of Myrla. And because some people be giving us too much. And they be trying to they trying to get their followers up. And Myrla is clearly not here. Myrla is here to be in a relationship. Yes. And I think that I appreciate that because more often than not, people are here to get noticed, get recognized. They want to get their next gig after they done with this or whatever. And so when I appreciate how Myrla is just like here for Gil. And that's it.
I couldn't agree more. At first I'm like, what you trying to say? Your wife talk too much? But then I realized, no, I think you are spot on, honey. I think that's really, really the truth. The only issue is that Gil is here to get his followers up.
Gil's gonna talk.
One thing he's gonna do is let us know how he feel about it, and it stresses me out. It stresses me out because it's almost like deprecating her. And I don't like that. I do not like that. I remember. Yeah. Oh my God, it's story time. Are you guys ready? Uh-huh. I remember. So I went through this year where I just dated. Okay. Like anybody, if you asked me to dinner, I was going out. Like I didn't care what you look like. You could be ugly, fat, tall, whatever. I was just going out. I was looking for love. Right. And I was open. So I went on this date. This guy asked me out. And I'm going to tell you exactly who. He looked like Seth Rogen. Okay. Mm-hmm. Circa Pineapple Express. So a little heftier, you know what I mean? Super funny guy, nice guy. No, let me take that back. He was super funny. And at the time, I was a manager at the bank and I knew how much money he had in his account. So that's my truth. Okay, so he takes me out to dinner. He was mean to me the entire dinner. He said nothing but snarky things. And the whole time I'm like, is this for real? Like, am I out with somebody? And it was funny because it was just like a friendly thing. I had on sneakers. I didn't get too dressed up. We went to get pho. Like, you know what I mean? It was stuff I had never had it before. He was like, what do you mean you've never had it? I don't use, anybody who knows me knows.
First of all, what's this with this thing of like do people really get mad over like what people, over what people order and stuff like that? It's funny because Uncle Shannon Sharp.
Oh my God, yes!
He told this story about how he took this. It was an example because he was he deals in it. He like me where if I'm telling a story, I'm gonna give you an example. It might be from a whole nother thing, right? So, because you need to break down because everybody is not on your wavelength.
That's
right?
So true.
Intelligent people use examples to dumb it down for a lot of people who don't get it.
True.
So Shannon is using this example about how he took this girl out and she ordered.
This was funny, yo.
She ordered
meatloaf.
At this restaurant that they was at, he was like, it wasn't whatever it wasn't like, he was like, it wasn't Mastro's or nothing like that, but it wasn't a place where like you go and you order meatloaf, right? So he says to the girl, He says to the girl, well, why would you come and get meatloaf? And he was this agitated. Why would you come and get meatloaf from a place like this where this is not what they do? Like, you wouldn't go to Popeyes and order a burger because that's not what they do. So then she later says the meatloaf comes. She don't like it. He said, it serves you right. I should make you pay for it.
He said it serves you right. I couldn't believe
But I'm like, but the host of the show, Jenny, said, it must be really difficult to date you. Shannon is single, so it probably... Because he then went on to say, I should have made her walk home. Damn, bro, because she wanted meatloaf. He was done.
But that's my point. Why do I gotta live up to your standards? And I think that's really what I'm...
But is that really... This is a bigger conversation we need to have. If that's really what y'all doing out here on these dates, like, a motherfucker order something y'all don't like, y'all like, oh, I can't be with him or her. Because they don't know how to order.
But you know what though? Okay, since we going there, do you think I like when people order for me? Joe brought me food home today, and he don't know that was like foreplay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just like when men do men. I don't know why do I equate that to a man thing, but I think if you're better at some women out here
today that would say, I hate it. I'm gonna do
and
me.
I get that.
If it's Rachel gonna say, I want to be doing my own thing. I'm a strong, independent woman. Don't order for me.
But I do think it's something too. If you're on a date, right? And this might be my little nugget for the day. If you're on a date and that person either has been there or it's just like, sometimes people are just better at ordering or whatever the case may be. I don't have any problem deferring. Like, order. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's that big a deal. I know, like, you let somebody know, like, I don't eat pork or, you know what I mean? And I'm gluten free. And then you just like let them do the thing. And I think that's a trust exercise as well.
Yeah, but moral of the story is you don't have to kick them to the curb because they ordered something you don't think that they should have ordered.
Period, Gil. Oh my God. And that's what I'm getting at. I'm getting at that, like, people, this self-deprecating thing I don't like, because I think he's trying to knock her down a peg because she got it going on. And as much as Myrla can get on my nerves, I'm starting to see that it's just her personality, and it's not a character flaw. It's just who she is.
Yeah.
And we had to get to know her to get to like understanding her better. So, and I understand her now. And I think that, like, if she make this, can't nobody tell me how to spend my money. So it's like, you know, because I'm the only one who worked for it. So it's like,
well, I can tell her how to spend
no, I mean, I defer. Do I defer to my husband on certain things? Yes. We
defer to each other because we're married. Let's be clear. When you're married, you do tell each other how to spend money. That's just.
I don't like the way that sounds, though.
It doesn't matter. It's true. It's a fact, right? There's certain things that I would never do without consulting my wife. It's because I'm married now. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So you do very much so.
I do it though.
I know. That's what I just said. I do. We do it for each other. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go and just, you know, we know that I want to get a new car soon. Yeah. But I wouldn't go and just pop up on a lot and go and come home with an Escalade and then I never talk to her about it, right? Yeah. That's just something, it's a responsibility that you have to consult your other when you make certain financial decisions. So that's basic. That's nothing about that is Gil or Myrla. That's another thing that it's not a you thing or me thing, or I'm saying it's another thing of like, this is basic Lifetime. You know what I mean?
But I think what I'm getting at is that her want and desire, like, I don't consult Joe when I buy clothes. But I do consult Joe when I buy bigger things. Like, if I'm making a larger purchase, I do talk to him about it before I do it. Like, well, what do you think about this? Or this might cost that. And a part of the reason why I do that is because sometimes I be needing to be talked down. You know what I mean? Like, no, we don't need to do that right now, whatever the case may be. But the other part of it is whatever I do does affect our household as well. So, and vice versa. And I think that has a lot to do with it. But I also think that this conversation that they're having it's silly. And for him to keep talking about it is really alarming to me. And not alarming.
But my question would be for you and for y'all in the comments. Do you think that he's actually constantly talking about this? Or do you think that this is something that is their theme for their show, for their time on the show? Because I would argue by the way that you can feel the happiness falling off of Myrla when she's around, when she talks about him. She almost broke down into tears again this episode, talking about how this, I think they were skating. She was talking about, I think this could be my forever right now, right? So by the way that she oozes,
this is so cute.
By the way that she oozes joy, do you think he's at home constantly talking about, oh, why do you got these shoes in here? I don't think that, and because I feel like it would be projected off of Myrla. Myrla seems very happy. You know what I mean?
You know what though? You're right. And they say the way you should measure a happy marriage is if your wife is happy. And not like that the smell doesn't matter, but it's just that it goes to show that like equally, and I think it would be vice versa if somebody asked me, is my husband, you know what I mean? If your husband is happy, then you're in a happy marriage. And I think that I think that there's something to that. I don't think they may be having this conversation as much. And I think he does a lot of talking to stay on the in the rotation on because Myrla is not giving, and that might be it too. That might be it too.
That gotta be it, because they like, well, the wife ain't gonna say nothing, so you talk to us about her shopping problem. We don't have nothing else to talk. They don't really have another storyline.
All right,
you know what I mean?
But okay, let's move on from that and talk about. We fixed it. We figured it. I fixed it. Yeah, so we fixed it. So it makes sense to me. The only thing is, though, I'm just tired of him talking about other people's relationships. I appreciate him holding people accountable.
He ain't got nothing else to talk about.
But I'm tired of this Steve Harvey ass, you know, what y'all feel about it, when. I'm over it. Like, you know what I mean?
That's
like,
what he going. That's his job that's his job in the crew. Like, he's the Steve Harvey of the crew. He going to
Let me ask you this. I have a question. Are y'all ready for this to be over like I am? This was a show of a season.
It was
like a slow burning fire. Yeah. It was like when you watch a train like crash happen, but it's 13 miles away from the point that it's going to crash into. Mm-hmm. That's what it felt like to me. Like it was slow and hard.
And I will argue that this is the highest population of like fuckboy personalities that we've ever had on in one season. I mean, think about it. We got John. We got Johnny, we got Ryan, we got Michaela. You know what I mean?
I would argue even a little bit of Zach.
Maybe
I mean, a little bit. Yeah. Just so he got a little tinge. It might be still left a little residual from the previous situation. But I'm saying he's trying to get it up off his back. But it's hard because Michaela is Michaela.
Michaela's Michaela. So I think this is just the highest like amount of just like chaos in each couple. You know what I'm saying? That I think we've ever had in one season.
So let's talk about Brett and Ryan. Let me tell you something.
Free Brett.
Free Brett. Hashtag free Brett. My thing is this, sister. Brett could be my girlfriend. Every time I watch her on TV, I'm like, this is the kind of girl I would love to hang around.
Yeah, Brett is invited to the cookout. And I can tell by her nails and her girlfriend.
And whoever she was talking to on the phone.
That she attends her fair share of cookouts.
Let me tell you something. But I love her energy, and I love how she is just like not being defeated by him, because he is doing a lot of manipulative BS. The fact that you would download an app,
well, he's lying.
You couldn't wait. We're literally 2 weeks out. You couldn't wait 2 weeks. You trifling motherfucker.
But how about, can we talk about this lie of,
go ahead.
Well, I had downloaded it, but it was never activated. So how would I match with somebody? You cannot match with somebody if you're not actually on the app.
But who you think is stupid?
I don't understand.
Who you think is stupid?
Who are you trying to pull the wool over? Like who? I don't understand this concept that you think you're going to tell this story and then she's going to be like, oh, you right. You know what? Sometimes that happens. Your phone just registers you for shit. Like, no, that's not a thing.
And we got to talk about how Dr. Pepper kind of just came on through the last motherfucking week and they want people to be doing all these exercises to make their shit stronger. That's some BS to me.
But
she needs to be there more than any of the other experts, because she seems to be the only one calling people out.
Well, no, Pastor Kyle calls people out more than Dr. Pepper. Where the hell's Pastor Kyle at? He only doing
at home with his wife making sweet potatoes or whatever the hell he was making that day. He was making something for dinner, child. I don't know. He was making something. Not doing his goddamn job.
Yeah, he ain't doing his job.
Driving around. How you gonna?
Because Pastor Kyle need to be making weekly visits.
These people need help. And my thing is, first of all, y'all pick piss poor human beings. Ryan is a terrible human being. And I'm going to tell you how I know. because everybody around him affirms it. His sister affirmed it, and we can go back to that, which I stand by her letting Brett know, because all she said was, he ain't shit, sis. And I love him to death, he my brother, but he still ain't shit. You know what I mean? And guess what? The guy, I don't know who he's playing ball with or whatever the case may be. It was just his friend. And he was, the face he had the whole time, like, you'll never figure it out. Yeah. You gonna be this horrible human being. Like, why would you do that? Oh, I really would. What did he say? His face when he was like, I never wanted anything else so bad. And then I was just thinking, like, do you downloaded a dating app? But while the friend looked like, I don't speak English and not lies. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't speak that. Like, yeah. and I think that sometimes people and I think this is why sometimes people don't really care. I mean, I really don't have a lot of people who don't really care for me, if I can be honest. But I think that I can be off-putting at first, because one thing you will not do to me is you can't tell me no lies about you. I will read people for filth. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. Be honest about who you are and and where you are. The bigger issue with Ryan is that you lied. And then you try to make me the stupid one with the lie, the more lies. Then you double down on it. And it's like, all you had to do was from the jump, tell her, listen, you are not my type. I don't feel connected here. I'm very sorry. But the fact that you drug this out and made it like, oh, maybe you doing double Dutch with her feelings. You did the little card thing. You're doing this, you're doing that. That shit is whack. You know what I mean? And that's what make you an F-boy, high key. Like, it's those actions, because you want to do her dirty so much that she make the decision to, it's like death by 1,000 cuts. I think, I don't even think he wants to do her dirty. I think he wants to save face so bad. I think it's more about self. I think it's selfish. It's selfish. He just wants to look a certain way. Yeah. He doesn't want to leave the show early because, afraid of whatever backlash he'll get from Twitter or social media or whatever. And instead of just saying, you know what, I'm not into this because I'm not into you, or maybe I wasn't ready for this or whatever, you drag this thing out and then secretly be like swiping left on people only to get caught anyway, only to lie about getting caught. I mean, it's just silly to me. But you just better be Travis Kelce. You just better be that bull. You is just like so average, and then you would turn around and do something like that to somebody. I just am like, really? We need to know. We all need to strike on this show and figure out what is the criteria by which you pick human beings. Because if it's just whatever you're doing over at Ready to Love, you got a job, you work, you got a 9 to 5. Can I get a reference from your job? And if that's it, then this is not what we thought it was. Because we were under the impression that experts were pairing these people. And I'm not saying that like every relationship is supposed to work out. Like, don't get me wrong. No, we just talking about whole individuals. Yeah, because the expert would give you somebody you're attracted to. Right. Or they would think that you would be attracted to. They wouldn't give you the exact opposite of what you're looking for. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Even an expert would do that. Why? Right. Because they understand a portion of that is a physical, chemistry. Yeah. I just find him to be, first of all, he likes boys. First things first, that was what I wanted to lead with. He likes boys. And that's okay. Baby, you go on ahead and like them boys. But don't make Brett feel no kind of way about it. Just living your truth. You always around here hugging and kissing on men with balls. Wait. I don't know how we got. That's what it be looking like to me. He always in a room with somebody where he like gazing at them in their eyes and stuff like that. You remember when he was in the gym with the other guy? It was uncomfortable. You didn't feel like he was flirting? I don't know. He like boys, and I'm out in them, and I know that's wrong, and that's not good culture. This is a rumor, though. This is a rumor. But I don't care. But you know what else I wanted? Speaking of rumors, I need to go back to, because she dropped this bomb while we was watching the show. Apparently, Gil has been on multiple reality shows. Not reality shows, y'all. I was tired when I told him this. So what happened? Because y'all know, somebody clear it up, because she didn't clear this up. I did not clear it up. So y'all want to hear Bust Down clear it up. Basically, what it was is that he was in like different sets. He had made 9 TV appearances. Doing what? Just a bunch of different stuff, like lifting weights and showing people how to work out, and I don't know. I didn't watch the whole video. I'm not gonna lie. I don't understand. But so he was a health instructor? It was like a little bit of that. Y'all bust down and say it, y'all, because I was all over the place. And last night, y'all wanted to have a whole
Because I don't know what we didn't learn anything. Like when I bring y'all nuggets, what do? I give y'all detailed nuggets. Like this is what happened on this day at 9:35. I'm not gonna. Well, he was doing something yesterday. I don't know. Like what? What are you saying? Like give the details or don't give nothing. Like
you brought it up.
You brought it up yesterday. You dropped this bomb into my spirit. Oh yeah, you know Gil just is a serial like TV star. I'm like, wait, what?
I didn't say serial. I just said he had been on a couple of times.
Okay, we gotta move on.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. The point I'm trying to make is, I was proud of Brett when he came up and was trying to apologize and was like, "Well, this doesn't have anything to do with you." But she was like, "I know it don't." That was the black girlfriend in her.
Yeah.
That was the black girlfriend. She just jumped out. Because the black girlfriend said something very... I don't even know if this girlfriend is black. It's Texas. She could have been anything. I'm just going to
when she went out to eat with the one girl.
She was. Yeah, she was. But when she said, like, you didn't get everything that you wanted either. Like, why do people think... That's how selfish human beings are. And part of that is self-preservation, and that's not a problem. And another part of that is, like, narcissism, and it's, like, only about what you want. You know what I mean? Which really shows that you are not even ready for this. Like, you were never ready for this. And that's why your sister snitched. That's why. Because she knew you wasn't ready for it when you came and sat at the table that night at dinner and told them all that you was going to be doing. She knew then you wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And it's like, all you did was, it was just, you played it out. And I'm like, really? I really wish nothing but red lights on him. I hope he is always stuck in traffic. I hope that his shoestrings, he lose one out of every single shoe, every other shoe. I really do. I think that he is not a good person. And I think that, you know, he step on a crack and break his mama's back. That's what I hope. And that's it. And that's all. But let's move on to Bao and Johnny. Oh, damn. Did we talk about Bao and Johnny?
No.
We got Bao and Johnny and Michaela and
Zach.
So who you want to go first?
Bao and Johnny. Yeah.
Bao is a woman scorn. She came out there like waiting to exhale, didn't she? She
but
was
Bao,
like, it is trash.
Bao got a little bit more, she got a little bit more juice on her now. She not really with the shits no more. Like
overnight.
Overnight, it happened like this. And I'm glad to see it because she definitely got a backbone now. She's not for Johnny's BS.
She's not.
She showed up to the last group gathering ready for the date that she had after it. Like she had the red lipstick on. Her hair was done. She had to swoop over the eyes, which we all know what that means when Jones got to swoop over the eyes. I mean, you stepping out tonight, huh?
You stepping out?
So she had the blue dress. I mean, Bao never looked like this.
Never.
You know what I'm saying? For
I ain't
8
even
weeks.
recognize them.
Right. So I'm glad that she's turned the page. But this is another couple that we didn't need to drag through this whole, well, there's pros and there's cons. I'm nervous about what Johnny might say on it. No, we all know Johnny is done. Johnny been checked out of this for weeks
Johnny
now.
said himself he is mentally unstable. Nobody should want to stay in a relationship with somebody like that. Period.
They're done. Johnny is done. Bao is done. Bao been done, which she should have been done. She's been done for the past couple episodes that she's done. So, I mean, I just think...
need to clean house. She got to get rid of her best friend.
Oh, the best friend. Like,
but imagine somebody sitting up. I feel like that happened to us before. Like, my best friend said something... my best friend at the time was like kind of like dogging me out to you. In high school? Yeah.
But the
difference is that he's a rider.
Yeah.
So it was
because I already knew, you're not her best friend. And I said since that day one, that ain't your friend. Y'all ain't friends. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if Johnny was a real one, he'd have been like, okay, well, I talked to Sarah, but Sarah, just so you know, you and Sarah ain't really close like that.
But the way he did it, I didn't even like the way he did it.
It was weird.
It's made high key. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even like the way he did it. Like, I wish, and I respect Bao for not doing a Jocelyn on that motherfucker and just bashing that motherfucker.
She looked like she wanted
because I just couldn't even believe how you would sit up in my face in front of this therapist and then try to play me like I'm the problem. And you, for sure, have mental health issues. And I don't even mean that in a bad way. I mean, like, there are people who have mental health issues and they work through it. You got the bad kind where you like, oh, I got him, but I'm gonna be all right, and you terrorize everybody around you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's the really messed up part about it. Like, okay, if her girlfriend said that about her, that was something to come back to her privately and say, you don't need to be friends with her no more. Like, I might not even be dealing with you like that, but it say a lot about your personality that you would even take it back to her the way you did.
But you also got to be aware of people who pull knives out like that during arguments, right? Because that's also something that, because it's such a sensitive topic, like if I know that's your best friend of 20 years, I'm not going to wait till you did something to get on my nerves and be like, well, you know what that bitch Brittany said about you. Like, that's whack. That's real whack, and that's real dirty. Like, you know what I mean? In the sense of like, that's not how you argue with your spouse or somebody who you care about. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just hold this in my back pocket and I'm gonna stab you with it at a moment of vulnerability. And when I'm, she hadn't even done anything to him at that moment. They was just talking about, they was just talking about, you know, stuff that was going on between them. It wasn't even like, he just went to 10 and then hit her with the whole Sarah thing. That shit is whack. And I be wanting to really hear what Johnny has to say, but Johnny don't be saying nothing.
Like, when he be talking about Bow, he don't really be saying anything. Even when she said, like, well, she told me she would never hook Bow up with anybody or whatever the case may be. And what do that mean? Like, how does that affect your relationship with Bow?
Johnny just was looking for somebody outside of the relationship to give him more of a reason to be out. That's all he was looking for.
You think he lying?
About what?
The conversation.
No, I fully believe he had that conversation, and I believe he felt it was the best thing that ever happened to him in life.
Like, he
got lucky. He got lucky, and she had a friend that didn't fuck with her.
But first of all, the biggest issue here for me is that you can't be my friend asking my man how our relationship is going.
Yeah, that was.
You want to catch some? Let me tell you something.
That was the other weird thing about it. Why would you? Didn't he say
what
that?
Kind of conversation?
Did he say that she contacted him? Isn't that what he said? She contacted him and asked him and then how it was going. That's weird. That is weird.
The whole thing
is weird. And
the real reason why you wouldn't hook me up with nobody because you was too busy stealing them. Yeah. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Which is a thing. It is definitely a thing.
What?
Where it would appear that these two women are friends, but the other one always wants what the other one has. I don't know. That is a thing that I've seen many times, and it is very weird. And it's like, we best friends, but we love each other. But every time she talking to somebody, I want to talk to them too. It was like the show. It was like that show. We was watching this show. It's a really good show. I think it's on Hulu. Where this girl who's always this toxic friend girl, this particular actor who I don't know her name, they're on an island. They're on a vacation thing or whatever. And the best friend is hiding. She finds a love fling on the island, but she's hiding it from her girlfriend because
it was on HBO.
Oh, HBO?
Yeah.
You know what the name is?
Oh my God. It was about the hotel Lotus.
The
White Lotus.
The White Lotus. She's the best friend is hiding her fling from her friend because she knew that if the friend knew that she was into this guy, all of a sudden she would stick her nails into the guy. It's a weird thing that's going on there. But anyway, we can move on.
But to your point, that might be the dynamic of the relationship, and now probably just
didn't know it.
I don't really. It's funny. I don't know if you guys have friends like that, or if you had experiences like that. Like, have you guys ever experienced anything similar to that? I don't know that I really have. You know what I mean? I'm really blessed. Like, I think I'm really...
Well, you have. That's going back to the friend that we was talking about.
I think that was high school. I think
It happened.
It did happen, but since then it had never happened again. So, and furthermore... Oh, I want to say something. Shut up. Did y'all see me just physically slow it down? Go back, slow it down, play this slow motion. I swallowed my tongue because I was about to say something and I just was like, you know what? Don't even do that. That's not cool. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make is that there are a population of people who don't want to see you happy and they do nasty things. But I think he is lying. I don't know why. I don't know why. In my spirit, I think that he just wanted to be mean to her. And I think if Val go back and talk to Sarah, Sarah's going to be like, girl, the conversation did not
I'm sorry. Val didn't seem like...
surprised.
At all. That's why I also think it's true. Because then she quickly she was able to justify it. She was like, well... It was almost like if somebody tell you something about a friend that you have that they did, and you like, well, that's Robert.
But also, why y'all get so bent out of shape? Like, my thing is, I tell people all the time, somebody say no, I'm nasty or I'm mean, believe them. But if somebody say I'm a good person, I'm sweet, believe that person too. Because I am dynamic like that. Like,
we all are.
I can be a not great person, and then most of the time I operate on, high frequencies. But you might have crossed me on a day that wasn't a good day.
We all have multiple sides.
And I think that, like, why that's another reason why I felt like that wasn't even something that you needed to bring back, because would anybody believe that you in here punching the wall and throwing temper tantrums and shit?
How about that?
Would anybody believe that if I told them that? You in the motherfucking room talking to yourself and crying in the mirror? Would anybody believe that? That's my point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like kind of like, why even bring that up? What is the point? Like, I don't understand the point, because I don't know. It just was weird. It just was weird as hell. So let's move on to who we got left?
Michaela and Zach.
Who was last, and y'all all know why.
Well, this is another couple that's over and done with. We don't really need to drag it out. Lifetime didn't need to drag it out.
Zach is getting his check.
We already know. Yeah, he's here. He's there because he's contractually obligated to be there. So this is done for. We don't need to go over this whole thing. I don't even know why they're doing this. They started with the story about how she stayed over Zach's house or whatever after they went out to eat after the meeting with the experts or whatever. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's cute and all, but we can just blow by this and keep it moving. Like, they want to be cordial to the end, which is cool. Which is cool. But we know what the end result is.
First of all, we got so much to unpack here. Michaela lied about the events of that evening.
1,000%.
And in an effort to make Zach look irrational. And I applauded Dr. Pepper for kind of like, slow up. You know what I mean? Because we got the footage. You know what I mean? Like, that's not how we seen it playing out kind of situation. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to take accountability for your actions with a period, you know? And I think that she has this fascinating way of trying to absolve herself of piss poor behavior.
She doesn't try. She does it. And every time.
Sleeps peacefully at night.
To the point of stating things and making sentences from her lips that would lead you to believe that these things never happened. She literally told Dr. Pepper, this is why Zach left. She told Dr. Pepper, Zach has no evidence of me acting
Zach got deep
crazy towards him. Like she is. That's when Zach said, you know what, I'm out.
But let me tell you why he's emotionally intelligent. Because he didn't just say, I'm out. He said, we can have a conversation about this at another time, but right now, I'm unable to do it. That, y'all don't understand how that little moment, that moment is so huge, because a lot of people won't do that. Right. A lot of people will walk out on you, and that is abandonment. But what he did was he recognized that
which is what she called it again, which was false.
But that ain't what he did. He said, listen, I can't do this right now because you're lying.
You're lying.
That was my word, not his. You're lying.
I wanted him to say that though.
He was doing the candy. The lies.
I know. The lies.
The lies. That's how he was.
I wanted him to say, at least to Dr. Pepper, because Dr. Pepper then alluded to like not actually having seen the footage, but she's like, I get updates. She's like, we get updates. So Dr. Pepper doesn't know in that moment that she is literally telling a bold-faced lie.
A lie.
She doesn't know, but she has an idea that you're not being truthful because from what I've heard from our updates,
you're lying.
You be wilding, right? So I think
because we got the bill from Airbnb.
Right. And we paying for the whole joint twice, right? And so I think that what I wanted was for Zach to actually give Dr. Pepper a little more insight. So at least when he left, she had some more meat and potatoes to work with. I wanted him to say, this is not true, right? We had the incident at the Airbnb. It was crazy. You can speak to the other cast members about what their account is, because Michaela's trying to make this a Zach issue. And it's not a Zach issue.
Right.
Everybody in the joint was terrified by Hurricane K. Right. And so my issue is that I feel like I'm in the Matrix and I can't have real transparent conversation with somebody who is living in an alternate universe where the things that she does is not real. She's in the Matrix.
Yeah.
So I wish she would have said a little bit of that before he left.
Yeah, because then it would have gave Dr. Pepper context, because it kind of looked like a little bit like throwing a temper tantrum.
And then she let Michaela leaned into that. See what he does? Yeah. So now Dr. Pepper is like, oh,
but let me tell y'all what narcissists do, y'all. And this is really creepy. Narcissists copy your behavior. So what did Michaela do the next time they sat down together? Oh, I don't even really want to have this conversation.
She is scary.
I don't want to do this. After you blew him up. Now you blew him up. Why? Because you knew your behavior was piss poor. He set a precedent to say, you will not treat me like this. You will not talk to me like this, and set a boundary. Okay. And then when it was very clear that you were not trying to fix anything, but to absolve yourself, he said, let me remove myself, because what you really want to do is talk about you anyway.
Yeah.
So that's what he did. He moved on. And then the next time you see him and y'all sitting down and y'all having conversation, what do? The same thing he did the last time.
Yeah.
Oh no, like as if you're genuinely the victim. It is the most, and not even the victim, I don't want to say that, but as if you were the party that was offended or harmed in this moment. And I'm not saying that she may not have had hurt feelings, but I really do feel like somebody needs to be doing their dissertation on this. Like their love, marriage, and family counseling dissertation on this, because this is really, really, really fascinating. And in the 15 minutes that I watched her on Unfiltered in her Rick James wig, as I got mine right now, I was really very much like, this bitch is crazy.
Yeah.
No remorse for her actions. None whatsoever. And I'm not saying, y'all, because I'm a queen. I could throw a temper tantrum too if I really not no more. But there's been moments where I've gotten there and I'll snap out. And it's like, and so I'm not going to say like, it's beneath any of us. But the cadence at which it happens, y'all don't even be talking about nothing.
Right.
That'd be the problem. So he, in his mind, like, let us start talking about some real shit.
Right.
What do you want to do?
We can't. We tried when we were at the resort, and they were talking, and then she went, I can't, whatever the fuck that was that she did.
Like she a gremlin. Like, girl, sit deep.
It was terrible.
It was terrible.
I'm glad that we're going to be done with this Michaela shit
I'm glad we're going to be done with Johnny ass.
Yeah.
I need to you want to know why, y'all? It's getting a little too triggering for my mental health. And like, no, for real. If y'all are people and y'all let me know what y'all think. I have gone through so much intense therapy. So sometimes when I watch people and they're having these moments, it makes me feel, I get like secondhand embarrassment. Y'all know that feeling when you get secondhand embarrassment and you get like all tingly. When I feel like somebody's either having like a long diatribe because they're having like a stream of consciousness or whatever, all that shit makes me uncomfortable. And it's like to see these people unraveling like this is uncomfortable. For me, it is. And it's like, it's uncomfortable because y'all made a concerted effort to pair these human beings who are obviously in desperate need of medical attention with human beings who are just like, what the f is going on?
Yeah.
Zach does not deserve this.
No.
You know what I mean?
No one does.
No one does. Like, no one does. And it's just like really, and I listen, if you know me, you know I don't cape for men very much. But I really do feel a way for Zach. And also, y'all, wait a minute. Why didn't nobody give Michaela the update that we was getting cute for the last meetup?
I think Michaela was just in the midst of another temper tantrum, or she was, balled up under her bed. in a deep depression, going through whatever, because she's on the spectrum. So she was going through things, and then she rolled out of bed and was like, okay, let me do this, because she really is sad about how she screwed this whole Zach situation up.
I mean, she fumbled the bag.
She's sad about it. So that's why she showed up in another wig that looks like she grabbed it from the bottom of a mop and put it on her head. But
and this is for a conversation for a later date. If your wig is not sitting right and you know you're about to be on TV, just don't wear one. Get braids.
But Michaela also, we saw in the preview for the last episode, has beautiful natural hair.
Beautiful.
Why are you sitting with this bag on top of your head?
Because that's what emotional distress does to you. That's not funny, y'all.
Maybe
it is.
That's probably explains
you
why
out here looking like Holiday Heart.
That's probably explains why she showed up to the last gathering and looked like that when everybody else was dressed.
I mean, everybody is dressed to the nine, and you out here in some Crocs and I just cannot. I'm going to pray for my sister, Michaela, okay? Because I really wish her abundance and great health, especially mentally.
I wish her a lot of things. Better friends, better siblings. Because y'all enabled this whole thing. She comes and she tell y'all all of this BS about how it's everybody else's fault. And y'all just sit there and let her do it, even though y'all know her as a person.
Well, he said what he said. And on today, he's the boss. So I don't have nothing else to say. Who do y'all think is staying together? Who's getting a divorce? It's pretty obvious, though, isn't it?
It's pretty obvious. We all know at this point.
Michaela probably going to throw a temper tantrum big and... let me shut up. Because even talking about it is stressing me the hell out.
We already know. There's going to be some histrionics with Michaela,
for sure. Like, what?
She got to go out with a bang. I'm telling you.
Never mind.
It's going to be a bang. She going to bring a bang. She going to bring a gun.
That's not funny, y'all. That's not funny. That's not funny.
She gonna...
That's not funny.
She's finna shoot up.
That's not funny. Let me tell you something, okay?
Listen, I'm fearful for Pastor Kyle and everybody.
She might be an active shooter.
She might be. Because you never know with her.
Well, I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for the reunion. I need to know all the secrets and everything, like, at this point now. Like, let's get past this.
Yeah, because there's a lot to address at this point that's happening off script.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So I'm assuming, hopefully, that they tackle that.
We need to know how to get into the focus groups to be a part of whomever is going to be, producing Married at First Sight, because I have some critiques. If you guys have not already, bust down. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. We are growing. We got the watch hours because you guys always come through and hang out with us or whatever the case may be. But we need to get them subscribers up. So it don't cost you nothing. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell so you know when we, post, because it's all over the place. We ain't even got to right now because we're trying to get our life together. But we came through any damn way. So subscribe to our channel. And we'll see you beautiful Mother Jumpers later.
Peace.
Bye.